Today is the 233rd of this barbaric invasion of our planet Earth by those savage creatures that we called the Greys. After we humans were the masters of the planet, we became an integral part of the food chain of those inestimable space creatures. The Earth and all what lives on its surface is now a potential feast that can be slayed at any time. On a fateful morning, we, the inhabitants of the planet, and our families in the west of the world, where the North American continent is, woke up to the sound of successive explosions. That began with a massive torrent of circular meteorites. Feel like heavy rain everywhere. Led by a huge black meteorite that fell in Washington, D.C. area, destroying everything that gets in its way. At first, we imagined it to be a cosmic catastrophe caused by strays of meteorites from the vast universe that wander among the solar system. But after a short time, while the world was waking up from this earthly catastrophe, those stones quickly split and emerged from its grey heart monsters with huge bodies, which look like reptile dinosaurs, but in a smaller size, and with sharp intelligence, which was highly capable of finding human and animal prey and eating them immediately by tracking the heat of fleeing bodies with the help of their keen vision, which enables them to practice predation as a daily routine sport. The resistance began with the gathering of global armies for the decisive battle against these super powerful aliens. We thought that our weapons were enough to destroy these giant reptiles. And we did not expect that bitter defeat. Within hours, human armies were crushed under the blows of their weapons from electromagnetic energy pulse cannons, which stopped and completely paralyzed the ability of machines to work. By stopping the activity of their electrical circuits, so they became idols waiting for their turn to be destroyed by the deadly gray rays. At a last resort, thousands of nuclear warheads on the invading forces turning the Earth into massive nuclear holocaust that included all parts of the world, and the nuclear winter was sufficient to completely eliminate human lives as well as the lives of these invaders. As far as we know, only me, my family, and a group of neighbors in our small town were able to survive after we went to one of the military bases established inside the mountain near our city. We found entire rooms built inside the mountain caves, designed to be backup hideouts in case of natural disasters. Its huge potential allowed us to live in peace, as it was equipped with all means to help us to survive, including electricity, closed ventilation, and large stocks of dried food. We couldn't communicate with any other human being, as we lost communication between us and the rest of the world. There may be others who succeeded to survive in other regions of this world and have been able to recover from these successive disasters. The most important thing that happened was the elimination of these grey invaders, but this only happened with a heavy price, which is the extinction of humanity and its civilization. Finally, we decided not to hide anymore after we realized that the nuclear winter came to an end and that atomic radiation had less impact on the environment surrounding our mountains area. As we began to hear the sound of the birds in the morning while we were behind the walls, my father and one of the young men left the hideout to explore the place around the former military base. As soon as we were confident that the surroundings were free of danger, we gradually began to go out again and walked in the city's roads with the decomposing corpses of humans, along with the dead bodies of the greys, which were not totally decomposed as the human bodies, and that indicated that they survived for a period of time before dying due to the very cold weather and the disappearance of food, along with their losing communication with their home planet. We all went to search for our previous homes. Me, my father, mother, and younger brother arrived at our humble home, which was located at the edge of the town, with the rest of the houses of our neighbors who used to stay with us in the hideout. I was so pleased to see the houses as they used to be, even though it was covered with dust due to the nuclear emissions. We did not care about the dust contaminated with radiation, as it was enough that we could at last enter our home for the first time since the global catastrophe. As my father was grabbing the metal handle of the wooden door and started to open it, we were shocked to see what we saw. At the same moment, we heard a scream coming out of the neighbor's house. We rushed outside. My mother was crying, terrified, declaring in a loud voice that carried a high degree of disappointment because of what we saw inside all the houses around us. We all returned back to the mountain hideout to close the heavy steel gates. It was just a matter of time before these huge number of eggs hatch, as the female greys laid their eggs in all our houses before they died, and our houses turned into nests for the spawning of those reptiles. Now, we have become certain that these creatures will take over our planet Earth, and that will be the end of humanity.
See you in other writing by Dr. Amr Mounir. Narrator Adham RB. Sound engineering Tamir Yahya. Editing Mariam Hani. Art direction Ali Saeed. International distribution by Sondos Tamer. General supervision Wael Atta. Production manager Rasha Yahya. Directed by Khalid Mahboob. Best regards with Pandarosh.